Hi, and happy National Taffy Day. Now, I don't know about you, but at Halloween when I was a kid, one of my least favorite candies was, well, my least favorite was licorice. Still hate licorice, but it was taffy. Now, don't get me wrong, I like taffy. But the plastic that they wrapped it around would inevitably always stick to the taffy. And though as hard as I tried to pull off all the paper, I never got all of it. And so as I would begin to chew upon the taffy, what would happen is I would get a hold of some of that plastic or some of that paper that was wrapped around the taffy, and a gag reflex would take place. And once that gag reflex took place, guess what? It wasn't that appealing anymore. I didn't feel like eating the taffy after that. Now, when I got older, we all went up to Mackinac Island. When I was, 10, 11 years old, we went into a fudge shop. My mom bought some taffy, and the taffy was all wrapped up in wax paper. And, it did not stick to the wrapping as much as it did around the plastic, maybe because it was much fresher. But inevitably, some of that wax paper would stick to the taffy. But at least I was able to see that, and I was able to pull it off or scrape it off with my fingernail, and inevitably I avoided the gag reflex and enjoyed the taffy. Well, how are you going to work this one out, Pastor? Well, I'll tell you, we're all like taffy in a way. The Apostle Paul told the church of Rome, he said, in Romans chapter 8, starting with verse 9, "But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. And Christ be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit of life because of righteousness. But if the Spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Christ from the dead shall not quicken your mortal bodies, but his Spirit that dwelleth in you." Now, our spirit is like taffy, and it is perfect and it tastes wonderful, but unfortunately it's wrapped in the flesh, much like the taffy is wrapped in the plastic or the wax paper. Now, our spirit does not sin because the Holy Spirit dwells within us, and it is possible for God to sin. But our lustful flesh is the cause of a spiritual gag reflex. So be careful, so that the sins of this world won't stick to you. And that's my thought for today. God bless.